Well, I'm out here on my land in northern Utah for a few days doing some camping with Ricky, and this afternoon's project is to dismantle this old chicken house. This property was a ranch, I think by a couple different people over the years. There's a lot of remnants of what's been going on here and there. This thing's an eyesore, and it's a lot of good firewood, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this thing apart little by little. I brought a bunch of tools with me from home. It's that bag right there. And see what I can do. This other structure over here, each year I come out here, I do a little bit of work cleaning things up. It's got a really nice concrete pad, and this was a garage at one point. Right now it's only being used by eagles, that when I come out here in the springtime I see the baby eagles up in that nest. But all this trash here is stuff that I have picked up and piled up each time I come out. And I'd like to, well, I regret making a pile here. I would like to use this as a camping pad. The roof is no good. I can't get my camper under it, so eventually someday all of this will have to come down as well. So what I might do, if I have time, is all the stuff that I piled up here, I'd like to take it here. I'm not sure what they were digging up here at some point, but it's a big hole. And I'd like to just, eventually I know a guy that lives out this way, have him bring a backhoe and fill this in, but fill it in over top of all the crap that's underneath that old garage. And there's some other miscellaneous stuff. There's a frame from an old trailer that I want to put in here and a bunch of other crap. But that's another day, another year probably. This may have been plans for something to do with the septic system at one point. Maybe they're trying to dig a pond for cattle, don't know. But they never finished it, whatever it was. But today's goal at least is to take this thing down. If I get this done while I'm out here, then I'll consider it a success. All this wood is really light, it's all dried out. The walls could be used for, or these joists I should say, studs could be used for firewood. Oh, this has to get buried. So I think I'm going to cut down the roof, cut down the floor. The studs and the joists and whatnot will probably fall naturally, but if they don't, I'll cut those and pile them up and see if the guy that lives out this way wants them for firewood, or just leave it all here for firewood for myself when I come out. So let's see how it turns out. I don't know why they put cement right there. Those things are 6 inches thick. I'm not moving them. They could stay, but the rest is all done. Ricky's been pretty good. There he is, as always. Took down the garage door that was here. It was pretty much useless and only added wind resistance to the building, so it's gone. Got a much bigger metal pile going here. So I carried everything off that I could by hand, with the exception of this stuff here. When I first came out here the first year, 2017, that's where I gathered all this stuff together. These iron pipes. I can't believe I dragged them here by myself. Even that big one over there. I don't think I could do that anymore. I've aged quite a bit in the last 5 years. But what I think I might do next time I come out here, I'll see if some of the people I know that live out this way or have land out this way, I'll see if they would mind letting me borrow their truck. If not, I'll rent a pickup truck from Tremonton, which is, well, it's an hour and a half away, but that's like the closest place to rent something like that. Might be worth it just to get all this into that hole that I mentioned before, which you can kind of see way over there. There's a hole. So another peculiar feature of whatever this land was used for is this indentation. Somebody clearly dug this, maybe at one time it was 3 foot deep, hole, pond maybe. Maybe this was supposed to be a pond. But when I came here for the first time, there was a whole burnt down camper on this chassis, and throughout the years different people have come and picked it apart and took useful bits from it. So I got to figure out what to do with this thing someday and try to bury it possibly. And then over here there's a pile of remaining bits from the camper as well. I piled all that together into that. And the camper used to be between these two poles. Of course, it wasn't that long of a camper. I don't know what the function of this stuff was. It's a really peculiar feature here, and they cemented them in, sort of. Kind of got a footer for them. So I don't know what they were planning to do with this run here, and why they dug this out. Maybe they tried to level the spot for the camper. I don't know. Very peculiar. There's Ricky, speaking of peculiar. What's going on, Rickus? He's just always looking out in the distance to see if something's coming. This is also sticking up in the middle of this sunken in area. And I would assume it would be a sewage line. Maybe there's a septic field through here somewhere. Or possibly a well. I would think if someone drilled for a well and it worked, it wouldn't just be left like this. So I don't know, another peculiar thing about this whole area. But anyways, I took down those poles. Got a little bit of this cement foundation left. Those footers. See if I can drag that away. But those stupid poles, whatever they were for, they are no more. Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I'm certain this is for a septic line. Because when it comes on out here, this ground's a little bit sunken in. And then it gets really sunken in over here, and it's somewhat green. So I bet you right along there was a septic line at one point. Well, I have amassed a wonderful collection of concrete footers. Another peculiar feature is these mounds of dirt here that are piled up. I'm guessing from what they dug out behind me, where those poles were, they piled it up here. I'm not sure why, but I think that's what happened. But what makes it a bit peculiar is that at one time there was a wall here and some leftover wood from it. You can see cross ties that made the foundation across. So I don't know what this was all about. There were more cross ties here. They're kind of scattered throughout the property. But that's a bit peculiar. Why that is, kind of like at the front of what would be the ranch. Alright, so I'm winding down with this cleanup effort, but one last oddity is this. I don't know what this is for. It is way out, like, I mean, there's nothing attached to it. It's just sitting here 100 yards from the old garage. I don't get it at all. And there's, in line with these posts, there's 3 holes, 2, 3 holes. So I'm guessing they were intending to make a whole wall here, but why? And why put a header on it? It's as if there was going to be a door here or something. I really don't get it. It's peculiar to me, but a lot of strange things going on in this section, but all of this down here, from the scrap pile over there to the remnants of the camper over there, and in between, that's only like 20 acres or so, if that. That's where all the work was done over the decades. And if I were to ever build out here, I wouldn't even mess with that. I'd build up on the hill. Because I've got 160 acres. I've got, you can kind of maybe see the white posts of the fence that goes on the property line. Not sure if that's coming through or not, but it goes a quarter of a mile, I'm sorry, a half a mile in every direction to make a square. So with all of that, there'd be no reason to mess with, you know, down by the road. Plus, right up over that hillside, it's nice and flat, and then you get a better view of the Raft Mountains, which you could just barely see peeking up from down here. So you get a much better view from up there anyways. So that's going to be it for this cleanup effort. That's it for this year, I think. Long video. You're probably sleeping by now, but if you're not, thanks for watching.